My father has always been especially sensitive to paranormal events. Although he would never say he fully believes in ghosts, after what he's seen, it would be impossible not to think they might really exist. This is one of his ghost stories that especially scared me when I was younger. Even now, I love to listen to him tell it, and I'll do my best to tell it the way he does. From this point on, it will be first person from his point of view. Also, I did some research to try and find the exact spot online, but couldn't find anything. I'll keep looking and post anything I find. Enjoy! When I was about 26, I had a job that was about 30-minute drive from downtown, where I lived in my apartment. It was a beautiful drive with winding roads through a wooded area. It went past old houses and farms. It was green, lush, and picturesque. There was also a very old cemetery, huge, that I drove past. It took a good 2 minutes going about 50 miles an hour to get through the whole thing. It was ancient and actually pretty interesting, but I never paid much attention to it. Normally, I would get off of work about 5 and be home between 5:30 and 6. One night, though, I stayed late because it was one of my co-workers' birthdays. It was about 9 when I left the office, and I started my drive home. When turned the bend that brought me past the border of the cemetery, I could see someone standing by the side of the road up ahead. Normally, I wasn't one to pick up strangers in the dead of night out in the middle of nowhere. But there was some voice inside my head compelling me to stop. So I did. As I got closer, I could make out that the person standing there was a young girl, maybe 12 or 13. She was beautiful and looked very sad as I pulled over and rolled down my window. The girl was wearing a white dress. It looked old, probably from the early 1900s. Her hair was dark, not quite black, and had been pulled back, although it was falling out, and a few strands fell in front of her face. Her skin was pale, and her eyes dark, overall, giving her a very haunted look. I asked if I could help her, and what happened next is slightly fuzzy. I don't remember her crossing in front of the car, or her opening the door. But suddenly, she was in the passenger side, sitting next to me. I started driving, asking her questions. What was her name? What had happened to her? Did she need help? Where did she live? All the while, she looked out the window and said nothing. I kept asking her questions as I neared the other border of the cemetery, and as I passed the final tombstone, I looked over to find myself alone in the car. I only told my parents about what had happened, and sometime later they sent me an older magazine with the 10 most haunted spots in my state. That cemetery just happened to be number 3 with countless stories of the young vanishing hitchhiker. There was even a photo of the girl, along with her birth and death date. She had killed herself tragically upon discovering she was pregnant after being isolated. I don't really know what to think about it, but I never drove home that late again.